Simulators are considered essential training tools for pilots, and the ones built for the airlines are actual cockpits. They even move, but on hydraulic jacks firmly anchored to the ground. Still, they are designed to quickly make a pilot think they're really in the air, a place to exercise critical skills, including how to get out of an extreme emergency you wouldn't risk practicing on a real flight. 737 pilots already receive regular simulator training. The question, do pilots of the 737 MAX need more?
Until now, Boeing had been resistant to the idea that additional training in a simulator would really be necessary, advocating instead a simple training program taught on a computer.
The FAA says it will consider Boeing's proposal and how it's built into specific training for the MAX. All is necessary to get the MAX approved for flight again, but nobody knows how much longer that will take. So this month production is shutting down. So what happens to the people who build it? There are about 12,000 Boeing employees who work on the 737 normally, and they are not all in Renton, but most of them are. But only about 3,000 737 workers will be moved during the production shutdown. So where will those people go? Everett is clearly the biggest stop to work on the 767, the 777, and to help get the new 777X back up to speed. And some may go to the company's fabrication division that makes parts in Auburn and Frederickson. Then there are all those MAXs parked at Moses Lake. Boeing said months ago it would move some people to Moses Lake to help maintain and upgrade those planes for their eventual delivery. Boeing has also assigned people to a new storage site in Victorville, California, where Southwest Airlines has already parked its fleet of 34 jets when the grounding came on March 13th. Glenn Farley, King 5 News.